So one of my hobbies is knife making. I haven't made loads, but I've made enough to know that I enjoy it. And a couple of years ago, I was looking around for some inspiration, and I came across these knives by Enzo, and they caught my eye for a few reasons. Firstly, you can get them in a variety of different steels, including carbon steel, which is definitely my favourite to work with. And secondly, they provide them in blade blank form, which is great because it saves you a bit of time, and it appealed to the handy side of me that like building things. So I got it bought, it arrived, it sat in the shed for a couple of months until I finally got around to doing something with it, and when I put it all together, this was a result. Now, it's looking a bit mucky because, I've used it. It's got wet carbon steel stains, so it's well used. There's a lot I like about this knife. I like the fact that it comes in carbon steel as well as stainless. I love the Scandi grind. I think that's great. And I really like the blade shape, the blade length. I think it's about perfect for what I do, general bushcraft and mainly green woodworking, really. Things I don't like, it's quite heavy. It's a full tang, which I know is the trend for bushcraft, but really my recent work with axes has taken me away from that. And I think now what I'd much rather have is a lighter, less heavy duty knife, and combine that with a decent hatchet with a nice length handle on it. I think you can do quite a bit of work with that combination. So I've got a bit of a project in mind. I've taken the shape from this knife and I've scaled it up to fit a rat tail tang. And my plan is, while lockdown's still going on, to try and remake this knife, but modify it a little bit to suit my needs better. So it's going to be slightly thinner steel. I think this is about 4mm steel. This block I've got here, 1095 steel, if anyone's interested, is about 3mm. I'd be looking at shaving that down even more, actually, to about 2.5mm. Just get it really nice and slicey. I think that'd suit my needs perfectly. I'm toying with the idea of going with a full flat grind, but I don't actually own a grinder. That's going to be a lot of work. So we'll see if I can be bothered. There's nothing wrong with a Scandi in any case. And it just gives me a chance to experiment and do a bit more learning. And hopefully it'll be a fun project. So there we go. Let's get to it. Right, so there we go, that's the bulk of it ground out. Now I've left this little area here and this little area here because I'm going to hand finish these. The reason being, I want to, instead of having a blunt 90-degree transition, I'd like a round transition, so that will stop any stress points in the blade here and here. And as it's a hidden tang, it's the first one I've done, I'm a little bit wary about it strength-wise. I mean, there's plenty of meat there. I'm sure that'll be fine, but every little helps. So we're going to transition these nice and gently with the hand files. We're going to finish these bits up with the hand files as well. So here we go. Well, there she is. She's all ground out. I'm fairly happy with that. Not perfect, but there we go. Next step. What's the next step going to be? I think I'm going to grind the bevels while this steel is still soft. Much easier to do this with a belt grinder, which I haven't got. I haven't got space in this little workshop. So I'm going to have to rig up some sort of contraption to use a file, which would be fun. So I think we'll call it there for this time. We'll pick up when I've managed to knock a sharpening contraption together.